is what kind of holds truth together. And thinking of like the binding agent. In other words, if you like cooking or baking, the binding agent, what kind of holds it all together. And it's a really important concept because facts and truth are different things. And fact can be weaponized, truth can be weaponized so quickly. And it's not that we want to shy away from things that are true or shy away from facts, but we have to, again, we've been talking about, understand the matrix that all those things are held in, or we'll become very judgmental, we'll become very self-righteous, all kinds of parts of the human condition that are not terribly healthy. And from a Swedenborgian perspective, it really is all about caring. I mean, that's the whole essence of our faith is that, look, to be a Christian is to be caring, caring about other people, caring about your families, caring about your relationships, caring about it all, really caring. And sometimes making very easy decisions around that, and sometimes making hard decisions around that, but it's still always coming from caring. That's the matrix. So, a line I want to read for you here, and this is from the book Secrets of Heaven 3068. It says this: a fact devoid of truth is an empty container, as is a truth devoid of goodness. But factual knowledge that holds truth and truth that holds goodness is a well filled container. In other words, you have your fact, and your fact should have a deeper truth to it, and your truth should have a deeper love to it. That's kind of how it all should take place. And then this line here is really fascinating. Desire born of love is what binds them together, each within the next in order, because love is spiritual union. So, in other words, the love is what pulls it all together. And friends, just think of, the people in your life who you truly, truly love. And when we truly love somebody, that creates the way that we see them, the factual basis of which we see them. And it will help us to actually see them very, very accurately because we're seeing them through the eyes of love. If we don't see people through the eyes of love, and some people will talk about, well, that's the more accurate, the more cold, dispassionate way. Well, maybe there's a time for that. I'm sure there might be, but a lot of the time that's not going to be the most accurate view because all we'll see is kind of stale facts and stale actions and just really superficial stuff. And love has a way of seeing those things, seeing the things as they are, but then it adds something much, much, much deeper to it. Just think of people who've really seen you, who really have seen you for who you are in a loving way, what a difference that has made in your life. And then again, we bump that up a step to the way God sees us. God sees us all the time through the eyes of love. That's what binds his way of seeing us together. That's why from Christian New Church theology, God cannot even frown, and we are forgiven. We're instantly forgiven. It's not that there's a whole lot to do. There's stuff we need to work on. We need to work on accountability, but like God's not sitting there as a scold, keeping a record of rights and wrongs. That's just not it. Plain and simple. And we're in our own very human ways supposed to do that as well. And for instance, just imagine again, like we keep bumping that out. I mean, there's this concept called degrees of the neighbor, fancy theological speak. And what it means is that what we do is we practice these things, seeing from the eye of love and allowing that to be what organizes facts and truth in our mind. And we see that at a level that starts with us, moves out to our core relationships. If you're married, your married partner, if you're in a relationship, the partner you're in a relationship with, your family, then it bumps out into kind of circles of friends, then it bumps out into your community, then it bumps out to your region, your state, the whole way out to the country and the whole way out to the world. And that's what we're asked to do is to just we practice it here, but we allow the ripples to go out. And the ripples where we're really trying to learn to hold truth with love, hold truth with love. Now, as I feel like I say this every time, but it constantly needs repeated. Does that mean we can't ever say the hard thing? Obviously not, because sometimes the loving thing is to say the hard thing. But we're really trying to practice this incredibly most powerful force out there, the power of unconditional love. And even when we share that, it's not conditioned on that the people need to respond a certain way. We're sharing it because it's God's calling on us to, and we see it a certain way, and we're really practicing the art of being loving people. We're really practicing the art of being caring people, and we're going to do the best we can, and then let things, the chips fall where they may, as they would speak. It's a little bit of a crass saying, but just we're just going to do the best we can, and then let God handle the rest. It's a very powerful place to be. So the takeaway is real simple, friends. Like if you find yourself really judgmental, and it could be somebody you know well, could be somebody you don't know well, could be a group you're involved with, could be a group you're judging from afar. But if you're just looking at the pure facts of it, you probably need to interject a little bit more love in there because love will start to organize those facts into certain ways. Again, and it may call you to a particular form of action, it may not, but regardless, it'll put you more aligned with the forces of love, which in other words, it will put you in a life that is more aligned with God. Just that simple. So I hope that makes sense, dear friends. And I hope we can exercise that going into the weekend and just seeing where that love takes us. So what we're going to do now is now we're going to take a breath. We're going to listen to a prayer bell. We're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. This is pre-recorded because I will be out at a meeting tomorrow morning. So please leave a comment and we will respond to it in due kind. So let's start with this, dear friends. Let's get a little breath and the prayer bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and be still. Be. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. The closing prayer. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right, dear friends, switched up the order a little bit this morning accidentally, but I do hope you have a wonderful day, seeing from those eyes of love. God bless you, and we'll see you on Sunday. Take care. Bye bye. Like our content? It's funded by viewers like you. Please consider